Since the very beginning, when humanity first started exploring the world around them, questions about the origin of life, the forces of nature, and the inevitability of death have taken center stage. In a time when scientific knowledge was absent, early peoples sought answers to the mysteries of existence by creating myths, rituals, and cults that later formed the foundation of the earliest religious systems. The evolution of religious beliefs is not merely a historical process, but a reflection of humanity's continuous quest to understand the universe, seek meaning, and establish a connection with the unknown. We trace how ancient people perceived the divine, explore the cults and rituals of the first civilizations, and examine how notions of gods, the soul, and the afterlife evolved over time. How did ancient people understand the divine? In primitive societies, where humans lived in close contact with nature, the divine was seen as an inseparable part of the natural world. Natural phenomena, thunder, lightning, wind, rain, and the sun, evoked both awe and fear, and their power was explained by the presence of supernatural forces. It was during this period that the concept of animism emerged, the belief that every creature, every phenomenon, and even inanimate objects possess a spirit or soul of their own. For ancient peoples, a forest, a river, or a mountain was not merely part of the landscape. These were living entities imbued with wisdom and power that demanded respect and veneration. In addition to animism, the cult of ancestors played a crucial role. In early tribes, people believed that the souls of departed relatives continued to exist and could influence the fate of the living. Veneration of the ancestors was expressed through rituals aimed at preserving the memory of great deeds and passing down accumulated wisdom from one generation to the next. In this way, the divine and the human intertwined to form a single continuum, creating the earliest images of the sacred that united people in their quest to understand the world. Cults and rituals of the first civilizations. With the transition from a nomadic lifestyle to settled agricultural communities, religious beliefs began to assume a more organized form. In Mesopotamia, one of the cradles of civilization, the Sumerians and Akkadians established a complex pantheon of gods, each responsible for different aspects of life, such as fertility, rain, war, and justice. Temples and sanctuaries built in honor of these deities became centers of community life. Sacrifices, prayers, and festive rituals not only symbolized gratitude to the higher powers, but also served to maintain order in society by reinforcing the authority of rulers. Viewed as intermediaries between humans and gods, ancient Egypt serves as a striking example of an organized religious system. Pharaohs, regarded as divine representatives on earth, were considered embodiments of power and wisdom, and their lives and deaths were inextricably linked to the cosmic cycle of rebirth. The pyramids, tombs, and temples were physical manifestations of the belief in the afterlife and the immortality of the soul. Mummification, the elaborate rituals of embalming, and the complex funeral rites were all accompanied by a rich mythology, in which deities such as Ra, Osiris, Isis, and Horus played central roles. These religious practices not only explained natural phenomena, but also established a comprehensive system of values, where life and death were seen as integral stages of an eternal cycle. Archaeological discoveries in the Indus Valley, at sites like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, reveal evidence of cultic objects, sanctuaries, and ritual centers. Although our knowledge of the religious beliefs of these ancient cultures is fragmentary, the symbols and artifacts uncovered indicate that systems of veneration were in place, designed to appease gods and spirits and ensure the well-being of society. Changes in conceptions of gods, the soul, and the afterlife over time, religious beliefs underwent profound changes under the influence of developing philosophy, culture, and social organization. In ancient Greece, where the first philosophical traditions emerged, gods began to be seen not only as supernatural forces, but also as symbols of cosmic order and harmony. Philosophers such as Pythagoras, Plato, and Aristotle explored the nature of the soul, its immortality, and its capacity for rebirth. These ideas gradually evolved into more abstract concepts, where the divine was no longer perceived as a human-like entity, but rather as a universal principle that governs the cosmos. This rethinking of the divine laid the groundwork for a transition from mythological interpretations to a more philosophical understanding of the world. In ancient Rome, religious practices retained their traditional character while also absorbing elements of Greek philosophy. Roman gods, endowed with human qualities, came to symbolize various natural and social phenomena. Rituals dedicated to deities like Jupiter, Minerva, and others were marked not only by ceremonial observances, but also by cultural festivals that brought communities together. This synthesis of the sacred with the secular fostered an integrated worldview in which faith and reason complemented rather than contradicted one another. In the East, particularly in India and China, religious systems developed along distinct paths. In Hinduism, the concept of karma, the law of cause and effect, became central, with the belief that the soul undergoes a series of reincarnations until it achieves liberation. Moksha, Buddhism, emerging as a response to certain Hindu doctrines, offered a path to enlightenment through the renunciation of attachments and the purification of the inner self. These teachings profoundly influenced the cultural and philosophical traditions of the East, where questions concerning the soul, self-awareness, and the afterlife were integral to the spiritual journey. With the spread of monotheistic religions during late antiquity and the Middle Ages, such as Christianity and Islam, conceptions of the divine took on new forms. In the Christian tradition, God is portrayed as the omnipotent, omniscient creator, and the afterlife is defined by eternal salvation or damnation. Teachings about resurrection, eternal life, judgment, and redemption became the cornerstones of Christian faith. Similarly, Islamic dogma, as detailed in the Quran and Hadith, forms a comprehensive system in which morality, justice, and faith are intricately linked, and questions of the soul and afterlife hold significant weight in the believer's consciousness. Modern trends and the synthesis of beliefs. In today's world, traditional religions face the challenges posed by globalization, scientific advancement, and postmodern reevaluations of values. More and more people are turning to a synthesis of ancient and modern spiritual practices as they search for individualized paths to understanding life. Neo-Hinduism, neo-paganism, various esoteric movements, and even elements of digital spirituality are beginning to occupy significant roles in 21st century culture. These new religious movements offer a refreshed understanding of the soul, the afterlife, and the nature of the divine, integrating age-old myths with contemporary scientific and philosophical insights. This dynamic evolution demonstrates that the development of religious beliefs is an ongoing process, one that adapts to societal changes and technological advancements. Conclusion: the evolution of religious beliefs is a multifaceted process, reflecting humanity's profound quest to comprehend the world, find meaning in existence, and establish a connection with higher powers. From the primitive animism and ancestral worship of early cultures to the sophisticated theological systems where abstract concepts of God, the soul, and the afterlife intertwine with philosophy and culture, religion has always served as a mirror of human consciousness. Every civilization, regardless of its geographical location or historical period, has contributed a unique perspective to our spiritual heritage, a legacy that continues to influence modern society. Today, as science and technology allow us to view the world through new lenses, questions of faith and spirituality remain as relevant as ever. New generations, drawing from ancient traditions while embracing modern ideas, strive to reconcile the material with the spiritual. The evolution of religious beliefs demonstrates that the search for truth is an endless journey, with each era leaving its mark and enriching our understanding of the universe and our place within it. This legacy, passed down through generations, continues to inspire us toward new discoveries and helps us make sense of eternal questions about existence, spirituality, and the meaning of life.